Hello dear colleagues, engineers. In this video I'm going to show you the use of strong oxidizers. The strongest oxidizer is an oxygen. In general, the method proposes: replace conventional air with enriched. Replace the enriched air with oxygen. Exposure to air or oxygen by ionizing radiation. Use ozonized oxygen. Replace the ozonized or ionized oxygen with ozone. The most common widely used in a process of burning fuel: gasoline, liquefied or natural gas, diesel fuel, firewood and other combustible materials. In essence, combustion is a chemical process of oxidizing a fuel or flammable material, which is accompanied by the release of thermal energy. Therefore, if for some reason we are not satisfied with the existing combustion oxidation process and the task is to improve it, then method 38 comes as a tool, which suggests changing the content of one of the combustion process components. This is the oxygen content during the oxidation combustion process. Let's look at various examples of the implementation of this technique in existing technical systems. Atmosphere-driven cars are widespread among us. What does this mean? In this type of engine, air with a typical oxygen content of 21% spontaneously enters the combustion chamber, where fuel is supplied for subsequent combustion or oxidation. Next, the engineers were tasked to increase engine power without increasing the amount of fuel burned. I cannot say for sure whether the engineers at that time used this technique or came to a decision by a typical trial and error method. However, in a similar task using technique 38, you would decide to increase the amount of air supplied to the combustion chamber, thereby saturating the combustion process with oxygen. The process of fuel combustion is also used for cutting materials, to create a high temperature, which is sufficient to start the point melting of the metal. There were invented various cutters: propane, kerosene, acetylene, and others. The second component of combustion is gaseous oxygen. This is the case when just the air is not enough to create a high temperature point burning. There are also a lot of well-known examples of the use of ozone and ionized oxygen for medical purposes. These examples of applying the application of strong oxidants method have been shown to attract your attention to those actions and their sequences which you specify in the process of working on tasks in production. So first you should set the perfect final result and then choose the method that leads you precisely the way to an area with new ideas to solve a task or a problem. That's all for technique application of strong oxidants. Have a practice this technique over the next day and it will become your reliable tool in non-solvable situations. Also remember, there are no non-solvable situations. I know you can find a solution.